let's play a game. All right. On the count of three, name your favorite dinosaur. Don't even think about it. Just name it. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Velociraptor.
What? Did we just become best friends?
Yup.
You want to go do karate in the garage?
Yup.
This is the Karate in the Garage podcast with Mason Merrill and Weston Toth. Welcome back to another edition of the Karate in the Garage podcast. I'm your host, Mason Merrill, and with me today again is my co-host, Weston Toth. What's up?
How you doing, sir?
Doing good, man. I'm recording at home today, so if there's any small children in the background, just ignore that.
Nah, man, it just sounds like you're actually in a garage rather than your sweet studio voice. It's a little bit, just a little bit more, like garage band rather than studio garage.
Yep, I'm doing the best I can here at home today. So anyway, it just worked out that we could record right now and not at like 9 o'clock tonight. So
yeah, very true. And it actually works out good because we have a lot of Nintendo news to talk about because it just dropped.
Yeah, man.
Ago.
That was some big time. I was like, what are we going to talk about today? And then I opened up Twitter and I was like, well, we have something to talk about today. I've got a couple things we can talk about, but yeah, that's definitely one of the big things. On the podcast, however, today, I don't think this review will take us too long, but we played Big Bass Fishing this week, as we teased a couple weeks ago.
Yes, we did. I had a bit of a difficult time getting the game working and then the controls kind of patting down, but
yeah,
finally got it working. Got into it a good bit, played a tournament and caught some fish.
Yeah,
in a video game. We did it.
Yeah, it was for PlayStation, and this game released in May of 2002. Developer was CoreSoft, and it rating was E for everyone. So
I mean, it is nice to have games that you could literally let your child play and not feel like they're getting tempted by, violent
things,
or anime girls or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. So we'll get into we'll go ahead and just get into the review of this game, and then we'll talk about everything else we're doing.
Cool. So
basically, there were 5 different events, including free fishing, tournament, beat the clock. Then they're all kind of, let's see, what is it? What were the other ones here? Zoning out.
Yeah, so there was just like basically practice mode. So that was the first one that it kind of recommended going into, and then there was just like your tournament mode, and then your the beat the clock mode, which I played tournament beat the clock. I didn't play any of the other ones, so
gotcha.
If there was another one, I don't think there is.
Yeah, no,
just like arcade mode maybe.
Yeah, something like that. So, yeah, sorry.
Our enthusiasm for this one.
Yeah, I know. I wasn't too high on it personally, but yeah. So, like, as far as the gameplay and everything, you choose your lure, and then you go choose your location, and depending on where you're fishing is where different fish are and things like that. And so, how was your time with handling this game? Was it pretty easy to get into, or did it take some time to kind of pick up?
It was actually pretty easy to get into. This, I think, at least, I would imagine that this was a crossover from an arcade game.
Yeah.
Because it played very much like an arcade game where you could just put a couple quarters in and try to just go as long as possible to just whip a fish out and hold it on the line and then get the right one, cast. It was a pretty simplistic design, and it worked for it because you could, like, I immediately got in the game, I threw my line out, and then I like after maybe one or just maybe a minute, I was able to catch a fish. So
yeah, definitely. It was pretty easy to just jump right into and start catching fish and things like that. As far as like you said you did tournament mode.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How did you place or rank in the tournament?
I got second.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, so I actually did really well.
Yeah, that's good. I didn't. I didn't do very well. But I mean, I could have spent more time with the game, and it's been a while actually since I played it now, since we've had a couple weeks. But yeah, as far as the game, it's not very fast paced. You just kind of throw your line out there and you reel in, as you would when you're fishing usually, and then you just kind of wait for the fish to come, and then you kind of like slowly but surely battle the fish to get to like catch it, and you pull it up, you catch it, you're good.
Yeah, I think so. What I noticed when I did it was there's 20 lures that you can switch from, and a couple different types. Sorry, just the lures. That's what your customization is. And I found one that just worked, and I just kept on using it for the tournament.
Gotcha. Cool.
So yeah, because I changed out of it, and I immediately started catching trash fish that weren't good. Like they weren't bass, because the whole point of it is big bass fishing. You only want to take bass in. That's only the ones that are going to give you the points, because you can catch all these other ones, but they don't mount anything.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So cool. Yeah, you had a time limit. The time limit was basically 2 minutes per round, and did it change in the tournament? I can't remember.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I think it was maybe 90 seconds in the tournament rounds or whatnot. But did you see any different effects of different of using different lures, like crankbait, pencil bait, popper, vibration, or jerk bait, or anything like that?
Yeah, for sure. So they did act differently. Like it wasn't just the same thing, but with the controller that I was playing, I kind of had like I said, like I used two, and I was definitely catching fish with, or I used a couple, and sorry, two of them like specifically, and like once I switched to a couple of the other ones, I just wasn't catching the bass anymore. But the cool thing is they had like when you're reeling in, they have like a little depth finder, and it'll if you stop reeling, your lure, just like real life, will drop, and then you can start reeling again. So if it's at a certain depth, I'm sure if we got more into the game, where the fish were, you could let it drop, and then certain ones you need to like literally like pull your rod up and down like a real fishing experience, and then reel in slow or fast. And some you literally just went out there and just reeled in, and you're gonna try to catch a fish. So I think it was trying to emulate real fishing, which was kind of like, it was pretty good. I didn't hate it, but for having such a big lure, like what was it? What did I say? 20?
Yes.
14. Yeah, it was so many, and I didn't see that big of a variation, at least because there wasn't that diverse of fish in all the lakes that I fished. At least it was literally like, I don't know, like there was a bass, obviously, and there was like catfish or crappie or whatever that I caught after that. So there wasn't like 20 lures made I guess that big of a difference to have so many fish. So I don't know. It was cool. It definitely made a difference, but I don't know how big of one for how much variety they really had.
Yeah, that's right. So basically you just kind of toss your line out as far as gameplay goes, and you can use the control stick to kind of move your pole around, and then kind of just press circle to like reel it in slower. And like a worm lure, it doesn't float, obviously, so it just sits on the bottom, and it drags the bottom, and then they bite it, and as you reel it, it'll kind of come up or go down or whatnot. So it's kind of the lighter one. I use that a little bit, and then I think just like the popper, I use that a lot, and that kind of would attract a lot of fish. But like you said, I think that's kind of where there were so many lures in this game, but like there wasn't like a huge difference between any of them. So you kind of still did the same thing at the same time.
For sure. At least that's what I like, the way I felt. What I did like is, so whenever you actually get a fish on, you had to like pull your rod up and reel in, and you obviously you could make the tension go too high, or else you lose the fish.
Yeah.
So
yeah, exactly.
Especially like the bigger ones, it was like a balancing act, which most fishing games in general, like when you fish in Animal Crossing, or when you fish in what is that game that I love? It's like Harvest Moon, but it's not. Hello. Oh my goodness, this is gonna bother. Anyway, the fishing's exactly the same. You like, once you hook a fish, you basically have to reel in. On that system, the fish is actually like in like a little gauge, and you have to reel up and down like to match it.
Yeah.
So this one was kind of similar. You just reel when there's like not that much tension. You kind of let off and let the fish run away, and then while you're hooking the fish, like there'll be little cutscenes of the fish jumping out of the water and
Yeah.
doing fish stuff.
Yeah, and going back and forth between that, and like you were saying, it's a real delicate balance to really get them in, but you don't want too much tension or too less tension. It also made me think of Digimon World has a fishing mode in it too, where you try to catch Seadramon, and it's the same thing. You just don't want too much tension on your line. You just kind of slowly lure it in, kind of thing. So that's cool too. Little callback.
Yeah, exactly. So I think games in general, Stardew Valley, that's the game I'm thinking of.
Oh, gotcha.
Sorry, yeah. I just had to say that. So yeah, it's and Stardew Valley and Digimon and in a lot of like pretty much any they've taken that same or very similar format and brought it into all these other games where that's how you catch fish is you have to like reel in and not like go too hard or like not enough.
Yeah.
Kind of like and just like real fishing. I mean, like
Yep.
literally real fishing is just the same thing. Once you hook it, you're trying to reel in, and then when it's really, when the fish is fighting, you kind of like let off and let him run around and tire himself out,
Mhm.
and then you get a little slack, you reel up, or you pull up, and then you reel on the way down.
Yeah.
So in that way, I do think the mechanic is nice.
Yeah.
And they try to spice it up with like the music, like do.
Yeah.
And the fish is flying out of the air. You're like, oh yeah, I got him.
I got this. Yeah, for sure. Let's just kind of go down our little rating system here. So we'll just start with the graphics. How'd you feel about the graphics for PlayStation 1 game?
Oh man, I don't have that much experience playing PlayStation 1, but I didn't think they were horrible. I didn't think they were special. I think they were probably just like a solid like 3.5 out of 5 or like a 6 out of 10.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. I mean, you could definitely understand
terrible.
everything was going on. The background was just kind of like a wallpaper, that had like a little bit of effects of the water moving a little bit below, but for the different locations and things like that. But but as far as the dude, like the sprite, the character, he was pretty good. It was just like the back of him with the fishing rod. So
for sure.
Yeah, and then the words were pretty good too. So yeah, I think you're right on there with a 6 out of 10 kind of thing. And then, like you mentioned, the sound, it wasn't anything to write home about. Honestly, it probably wouldn't have changed the game for me if I had it up or down. So it wasn't, it just, in these games, I guess you're not totally looking for sound anyway, other than like a splash or two when you catch the fish.
Yeah, it wasn't terrible. Wasn't anything to write home about. Very average.
Yeah, the presentation of the game, I think the presentation could have been better. It was real kind of lackluster. It was just like a menu, and then you click, and then you start playing. There's there's a little bit of depth in the explanation of the lures and things like that, which were neat. But I don't know what I could have asked for more out of this game, but I think it could have been a little bit better as far as it went. So,
I mean, you have to think about like PlayStation 1. I mean, if we're comparing it to other games of PlayStation 1, like there's 50 other games that are much more intuitive to play, like menu wise, and just like teaching you how to do it or whatever. I did like, I mean, whatever you were doing, like whenever a fish bought, like a little help menu at the bottom would say, oh, yeah, pull up on your rod whenever a fish bites. So
that's true. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, I mean, it did help you out and kind of like, oh yeah, whenever the tension's getting high, like back off on it. But I still think, I mean, PS1 had some decent titles that were getting, quite a difference than this one is. I don't think it's horrible, but I think it's 5 out of 10 for presentation.
Yeah, for sure. The gameplay, as far as everything went, I didn't have any problems with the gameplay. I thought it was pretty smooth, pretty easy to understand. No real qualms with that personally.
Yeah, I actually didn't either. I think that for trying to do what it did it pretty smoothly.
Yeah, and I guess we have to think that this was an arcade game, so it's usually the person coming into the arcade game playing it for the first time, so they want you to just pick up and start playing and be okay at it,
Yeah, for sure.
So, and then lasting appeal for this game, I think personally, if I was going to the arcade to play a game, and if I saw this or like another sports game, like a golf game, I'd probably go to play golf. So
100%. I don't think that this has lasting appeal at all.
I'd play the PS1 golf game over this probably.
I think golf games, just like from like us reviewing Mario Golf, to the golf games that are now, they're just still fun. Like you don't like they've gotten better with graphics and everything else, but no matter what, like golf games, like I think just like the turn base of the holes, and it's relatively simple, but it's like it's really fun to get right. Like golf games that were fun from the beginning. I think this could like had the potential to be addictive, but it just there wasn't anything being like, oh man, there's this one. They don't say, oh yeah, this fish has, or this lake has this certain fish, and if you're lucky, you're gonna have a 10% chance to be able to hook him up, and he's really hard to catch. Once you catch him, you get like a new lure. There was no like progression at all,
Yeah.
Where in in golf, like if you do really good at a hole, then you're gonna be able to like get your score down, and the reward is there, and I think the reward wasn't as big, but I do have to say, when I caught a really big bass, and I was like, oh sweet, it was like 4.59 pounds or whatever, and it went to the top of my my poundage, and I was like, oh, this is really cool. It just needed more reward for like and difficulty,
Yeah,
that's why golf games are so good, because golf games can be very difficult, and they're very rewarding, like when you play well.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So anyway, I agree. As far as if I'm going to play any kind of solitary sport, I'm definitely going to probably play golf. So after
plus they didn't let me skin my fish, and I was really sad.
Yeah, exactly. So let's just go ahead and rate this game and move forward. What are we rating with? Are we going to do fish or lures or fishing poles?
I'm pretty sure we're doing 1 to 10
bass.
Bobbers.
Okay, bobbers. Okay, 1 to 10 bobbers. I put it in my little app here, did little calculations, and I got a 4.2 out of 10, and that's pretty much how I feel about this game. So I'm gonna roll with that.
Yep, 4.5 for me. I think I wanted it to be better than it was too. Like,
yeah, I think I had higher expectations coming into the game, like, which I shouldn't have, but I was like, last week when we talked about it, I was like, oh man, this is gonna be so fun. I'm so stoked about it. I can't wait. To play a fishing game. It'll be fun. And then I got into it a little bit. I'm like, I'm not really having fun with this.
I think the idea of like it being a little bit more difficult, and then having like a progression, or being like catching a big fish, and then you get money to buy more fishing gear. I like progression systems where you start out at the little pond, and then you catch a big fish and you win the tournament, so you get better fishing gear and a bigger boat or whatever. I like that, and this had nothing of it.
Yeah,
that's what's missing for me. Like the actual gameplay, not too bad, but the progression just wasn't rewarding at all.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, cool. So let's just close the book on that one and move forward. How about that?
Sir.
All right, awesome. I personally, Final Fantasy VIII Remastered came out yesterday, so I've been playing on that a little bit. Have a little bit to say about that.
Initial thoughts. Give it a little rapid fire.
It's awesome, man. Like, I'm so stoked to play this game again because it's been so long, and they've done, especially to the characters, models themselves are so much better. Like,
really,
night
That's
and
awesome.
day. I'll send you some pictures that I have that I took of like old school versus new school, and it's like night and day. Seriously, it's awesome. So, definitely really having a lot of fun with it, and enjoying the game itself. Are you there?
Yes.
Okay, sorry.
I'm here.
I just put an old picture in the chat, and I'm gonna put a new picture in the chat as well, so you can kind of see the difference.
See, let's see it here. Let's see the initial reactions coming at you live.
Yep. Actually, I'm texting you the picture I took because it won't send in the chat. But as far as the models, I think they really did a number on as far as just making them clear and look more like the Kingdom Hearts type models, things like that. The gameplay really is no different, other than it just looks a ton better, So
awesome.
Yep.
I played through that game at our good friends Michael and Trey's house, but it was obviously super, super long, and they had already finished it. So we just, I started playing it, and then like, can we just like try to beat the final boss on my account or like my memory stick. I was like, okay, fine,
whatever.
So we did it, but I would like to go back and play it too. Oh, you texted this.
Yeah, the clarity of the character is just so good.
It didn't come through yet.
Okay.
By the way, after you finish your segment, I wanted to ask you live. I didn't even ask Mason this before. I would like to do. We're gonna do rapid fire game trivia if you want to do that too. So I have a couple of questions.
Okay.
And see if you can answer them correctly, and that'll be a segment on our show.
That'd be cool.
Literally, I'm not telling Mason this right now. Like I thought about this, and I was like, I had the questions, and I was just gonna see rapid fire if you could get how many you could get out of 5 or 10, depending on how many you want to do.
Yeah, that sounds good. We'll do that. We'll do that next. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah. Anyway, I sent you kind of the different reactions or just different kind of how they changed up the graphics a little bit in the game, and they've really, like I said, the character models is number one. The gameplay, there's like a 3 times mode if you click one of the sticks, so it'll go a lot faster, because the one complaint I had about the game was when you summon, the summons take so long, and so you can kind of hit that button and it'll 3 times fast through the summon, and
that's use them. So nice.
You use them a lot in this game, and if you click the other one, it makes no random battles pop up, so if you're just wanting to run through an area to get to the next part of the game, you can do that too. Obviously, you don't want to do that all the time because you need to level up and stay current with the story. Right. But yeah, I'm kind of through the first little part of it. I played probably 3 or 4 hours, and I'm really enjoying playing through it again. And just, I think, like I said, the clarity of the characters makes the game a lot better to me, because you can like actually be like, oh, that's Squall. Oh, that's, instead of just like a pixelated version of them. So it's very cool. Did you see the picture I sent you?
No, it didn't come through, so I don't know.
No, that's weird. I texted it from my phone. So anyway. But yeah, you can look it up, and the listeners can look it up too. But yeah, I'm definitely excited. I'll kind of keep the listeners up to date as I play through it, and kind of, it's really, the game's really smooth, no glitchy kind of thing, and just getting back into it. It took a little bit to remember, the battle system and the junctioning system and leveling up they call the summons in the game the GFs, the Guardian Force. So they're like your dudes, and it has one of my favorite card games in the game, and you can just like literally battle any NPC in the game. So that game's pretty fun. It's called Triple Triad.
Very cool.
Yeah. Yep. So anyway, overall, I've been stoked to play that. It came out yesterday. So
awesome.
All right. So moving along here, do you want to do the rapid fire at the end, or do you want to talk about Nintendo Switch a little bit?
We can do it at the very end. So
okay.
Let's talk about Switch, and then we'll end with the rapid fire trivia questions and see how many you can get. I'm very interested.
Okay.
We'll finish the episode.
Yeah, we should make this little segment like of every week of doing that. That's cool.
Yeah, I thought about it, like, I've been thinking about it for a while. I was like, oh, we need like a segment, and then we'll have to do how much does Mason know about video games?
Yeah, we should do it with you too.
Is he is he a casual, or is he a real hardcore gamer?
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see about that. It just depends on the genre, I guess. Okay, so as for Nintendo Switch, though, there's a bunch of announcements. So just kind of running down the list. I think one thing big time that stood out to me was Banjo-Kazooie dropped in Super Smash Brothers today, Ultimate.
Oh, yes. I have not played it. Have you?
No, I haven't yet, but I'm going to go check that out later, probably.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly, I haven't played much Smash Ultimate. I don't even have all the characters unlocked or anything like that, so I'm pretty behind on the game itself.
Yeah, I am too. I played it. See, I just play it when my friends come over, or when like Parker's friends come. So I'm not like playing it online or just practicing by myself or whatever. So it's unless there's like 3 or 4 physical people in my house, then I'm not playing it. And there's not that many, because I play, more like online games and stuff like that. So yourself, or just like a solo PS4 game or something like that. But yeah, Apparently, Joker. So there was Joker. That was the first release, and he was
Persona 5, not Batman's Joker.
Yeah, Persona 5's Joker. He was. I'm pretty sure he's still touted as being like pretty much the best character in the game, or like epically overpowered.
That's
and
funny.
then they had the Dragon Quest guy. What was his name?
Hero.
Hero from Dragon Quest released, and then they have Banjo, and they have from Nintendo Direct's conference. They have more coming, so that's pretty epic.
Yeah, there was one more announced today too. I don't see it on here, but I'll try to find it by the end of this. Yeah, and then so another cool thing was they announced a free-to-play Kirby game. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, a free-to-play Kirby game that you can download now on Nintendo Switch. That's supposed to be pretty cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, Terry Bogard from Fatal Fury.
I love how we're both looking it up, and you were like, "Yeah, Kirby." No, Terry Bogard.
Yeah, that's it. Going back. Okay. So anyway, that's the Super Smash news for today. And they teased like, "Hey, we're not done. We're gonna keep working on characters." So that's cool.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. I mean, it's ultimate, right? It has everything. They're gonna add new characters into it. The only reason that we're gonna have to buy a new one eventually is when Switch 2 comes out, which who knows how long. I mean, Nintendo rides their systems for such a long time that this is probably gonna be the Super Smash that we're playing for like at least 5 years or something stupid.
Yeah, dude, they've built this game out so much. I can't see them making another one like anytime soon. So,
yeah,
like even if they do another platform, I think it'll be the same game. So,
I don't see why not, especially because they can customize it as they see.
Yeah,
and change it.
Yeah. So anyway, this Kirby game that's apparently free to play right now. It's like a team up. You just basically fight the historic bosses from the Kirby games, and I don't know how the pay feature of it's going to work, but I'm sure there is some kind of pay feature that you can do.
Well,
but it's
money somehow.
Yeah, it's a co-op game. It looks pretty cool. I'm just watching it looks kind of like the Kirby game that I had that we played. Without the adventure, it's just kind of like you team up with your friends and fight Kirby bosses kind of thing. So,
yeah, I mean, I like Kirby.
I'll download it.
The original Kirby level design was super awesome to me, but if just to go with your friends and play the battles would be fun.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially for free. Like, I mean, I'll definitely, I'd be happy to play with you for free.
Yeah, I'll download it. We can check it out.
Trying to. I'm guessing because I'm looking at the trailer now, and all the Kirbys have like armor and different stuff, and I'm guessing that's the stuff you have to pay for, which is really smart. So the game is free, but then like maybe the extras,
characters and things like that,
customize and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Kirby Clash
looks kind of cool. Okay, another thing is they announced Overwatch Legendary Edition is coming to Switch. So
cool. Yes. Which is nuts because that game, I guess like it makes sense because it's on everything else and Switch just gets it last. Just like Switch got Diablo 3 last year.
Yeah.
And now just
Skyrim.
Yeah, Skyrim. Like, well, just in general, all the Blizzard games are like multi-platform, including Nintendo. Nintendo likes, I guess, Blizzard, so or they like each other.
Good relationship. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm never going to play Overwatch on the Switch, I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, I probably won't either. I just don't play Overwatch anyway, so I don't think I'd play it.
Dude, what is Overwatch? Is this a new game I've never heard?
I know, Overwatch? Exactly. Overwatch. Yeah, so anyway, that's kind of they had been teasing that for a while, but they finally officially announced it today. They announced a new Luigi's Mansion 3 coming out. So, hotel full of surprises, what it says here.
Yeah, some unreleased floors, I guess. Did you play Luigi's Mansion 3?
Is it? I thought it was a new game.
Or maybe it's just not released, but they're just releasing the look of some of the floors. I don't know.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool.
Yeah, it looks really cool.
Yeah, I never played any of the other ones, but might check this out.
I played the first one for a little bit. It was actually pretty thinking fun.
Yeah, it looks fun.
Got like it's, in reality, like the mechanics of Luigi Mansion are pretty much as good or better than any Mario game.
Yeah.
Well, maybe like Yeah, obviously the new Mario games are like as good too, but it's just kind of branches off, do a cool like little spinoff.
Yep. So, a couple of the other announcements that they're doing a Trials of Mana remake, which is an old RPG. I never played that. Destiny Original Sin 2 is rolling onto Nintendo Switch. I don't know what that is either.
It's Divinity.
Divinity. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so Divinity Original Sin 2 is like it's a game that's been out. It's actually really, really, really well rated. It's a party game of like an RPG where you start your team and then you do quests, and it's like an ever evolving world.
Oh, right on.
I'm
cool.
actually gonna get this game.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah,
Maybe I'll
I'm
get
very
it
interested.
Too.
Yeah, I'm very interested. You can start your
it out.
party, and basically your story kind of comes about like how you and your party go about it.
Yeah.
So it's especially for the Switch, like this is perfect for it. You've been playing like mobile and stuff.
Yeah, that's cool.
I'm very interested in this game. I actually was looking at buying this in the computer probably like 3 weeks ago, and now this.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
It'll be great to be able to play. Come and just play with your buds, and it's cloud saves too, which is so nice. And
yeah.
I think it has. Oh yeah, it has Steam crossplay too. So if you're on the Switch and I'm on the computer, we can still play it.
That's cool. Yeah, that's awesome.
Really good. I think this is a great thing. All this stuff.
Yeah, that's cool. So they also talked about a bunch of like OG games coming to the Switch. Bethesda said they were going to release Doom 64 is like an OG game. And then they're bringing 20 Super Nintendo games to the Switch.
How many? 20?
Yeah, 20 different games.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, so it'll make this podcast a little easier for us.
True.
Yeah, like Super Mario World was one of them. Mario Kart for Super Nintendo, like just a bunch of different games. Which when they originally talked about Nintendo Switch Online, they were saying with your membership you'll get to play some old games too. So finally, 2 or so years later, they're bringing that feature. So that's cool.
Yeah, and the cool thing is they're selling the a wireless Super Nintendo controller. You can play all of it on the controller too.
Yeah, which is really cool. I like that idea. That's neat. So,
yeah, for sure.
Give you the old feel of playing it.
Just the old feel and just how it's supposed to be played, rather than trying to play with a joystick or something weird. So,
yeah,
I'm obviously for the sake of this podcast and everything else, I'm very down with this.
Yeah, for sure. I think the another announcement, Mario and Sonic. They showed some more Mario and Sonic. Tokyo
Olympics.
2020 Olympic Games. I played some of the other ones. They were fun as far as just like a kind of like a party game,
Yeah, I'd
play with your friends.
I didn't get the first one, but I'd be definitely down to get this one and just be able to whenever we have friends over, especially like when the guy and the wife comes over and they like games too, but the girls aren't hardcore, so but they love like Mario Party and stuff like this, where it's just it's just fun with anybody. Like anyone can get into it real quickly, and it's a fun way to bring people to play video games together, rather than it's no one's gonna get into Divinity Original Sin right off the streets.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so the other bigger announcement was they're bringing a re-release of Star Wars Jedi Knight 2 Jedi Outcast to the full single player experience to Nintendo Switch. So I remember playing that game back in the day with some buddies, network playing and doing like the battle mode, and that was a lot of fun.
Dude, we played that together.
Yeah, we used to network it. Have like LAN parties back in the day.
Yeah, especially
Sean Paul's house or like
Sean Paul's
the chicken
house.
Or
who we did a lot of Jedi Outcasts with? It was Colton Plowman.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, he had a pretty sweet basement
because he had 5 PCs in his basement.
Yeah, exactly. Shout out Colton.
Yeah, shout out Colton for having a rich dad who just like has massive amounts of PCs.
Yeah, exactly.
And a network to play them on.
Yeah, good times. Okay, cool. So I think as far as like interesting stuff for me, that kind of wraps up the. Oh, sorry. They talked about some more Pokemon stuff with Sword and Shield.
Yeah, just new Pokemon, obviously customization options, like your character,
which is cool because they've never done that in a Pokemon game. It's kind of you just get boy or girl and
really
that's it. Yeah. So
They never did that in Sun and Moon because I never played that game, but I would imagine because you can, in Pokemon
you
Go,
could get
can
like
customate it.
Yeah, you could have like costumes and stuff, but like as far as the character itself, like making the visualization look good. So
And that's so crazy they haven't done that and up until now.
yeah, I know it's weird. I think that'd be kind of like a staple thing, but
I know it's just Pokemon obviously has such a hardcore and like they've done so many things right that I'm sure they just haven't wanted to mess it up with little things like that. But yeah, you can customize your character, get new clothes, which it's fun, especially because this one's a complete 3D open world and it looks really good. Like some people think the graphics aren't as good as they could be, but man, it looks pretty good to me. I'm stoked.
yeah, it does. Yeah, no, I'm excited about it. Yeah, that sounds good. Sorry if you hear a baby crying in the background.
Dude, I thought it was a cat. I was like, did you hear a cat?
No.
I was like, I in my headphones, it was just like, "Arr."
Yeah, I've got a little young child in the background, crying. So anyway, yeah, I think that's gonna pretty much wrap us up for now. Let's do a little rapid fire on this trivia thing, and then we will call it a day here.
Cool. Okay, you ready?
Yep, I'm ready. Ta-da.
All right. 1 out of let's see how many you get out of 10. In what game series would you attempt a Nuzlocke challenge? The Sims, Call of Duty, Pokemon, or The Legend of Zelda?
Legend of Zelda.
Ooh, that is Pokemon. You are incorrect.
Pokemon, really? Okay, I'm out on that. Okay.
So, where is Watch Dogs 2 set? Chicago, Detroit, San Francisco, or London?
Never played this game, but I'm gonna say London.
You're gonna say what?
London.
I'm sorry, it is San Francisco. 0 for 2.
San Francisco. Oh man, I was gonna say Chicago. It's my.
I thought it was Detroit, so I was wrong too. What horror game series is the developer Red Barrels known for? Amnesia, Outlast, The Evil Within, or Silent Hill?
Silent Hill.
Ooh, Outlast. It is not.
Okay.
It's 0 for,
Man, I'm
0 for 3.
0 for 3.
Okay. In the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim, which of the following is not a playable race?
Okay.
Argonian, Khajiit, Tefling, or Nord?
Oh God.
Come on, you got this one.
Tefling.
You are correct. Very good.
Ah, yes. Okay.
Thank goodness
All
you got
right.
that. I was like, come on, I know you played this game.
I played Skyrim recently on VR. So.
What year was Grand Theft Auto 5 first released? 2012, 13, 14, or 15?
Grand Theft Auto 5.
Yes, the newest one.
I'm gonna say 13.
You're correct. Wow.
Yeah.
Man,
All right, I don't play that game.
You know, the
either.
funniest thing is people are just continually playing that game.
Oh yeah, there's so many mods and things you can do. I saw somebody was like playing as Batman the other day, driving the Batmobile around.
Oh, that's so
Looks fun.
funny.
Yeah.
Okay. What caused the apocalypse in The Last of Us?
It was a disease, right?
Oh, sorry. Nuclear war, robot uprising, an alien invasion, a mutated strain of fungus.
Fungus.
You are correct.
Yeah, okay. I didn't play that game either, but I've just heard the cliff notes on it.
Okay. Which of the following name is not a main character in Detroit Become Human? This is so hard. Kara, Connor, James, or Marcus? This is I know you've not played this game.
And this is Detroit Become Human?
Yeah.
I'm going to say Marcus.
You're incorrect. So we are 1 for 5.
All right.
Let me load this. This is coming. Oh, what the heck? All right. Okay. Sorry, the stupid thing.
You want to call it there?
No. We got 2 more. Sorry.
Okay.
Who voices Clementine in the Walking Dead video games? Melissa Hutchinson, Laura Bailey, Dave Fennoy, or Felicia Day?
Oh, geez. Felicia Day.
Oh, Melissa Hutchinson. I would have picked Felicia Day too, by the way.
Yeah.
What is remastered version of Bully subtitled? Scholarly Edition, Electric Boogaloo, Undead Nightmare, or Scholarship Edition?
Scholarship Edition.
Ah, you are correct. Okay.
Yeah. I
One
saw
more
that game
question.
the other day.
So you got
What
two
is this?
right.
Okay.
Which of these games?
I've got more of those. I got more right. I think I did 4 right because I got a few in a row. Got The Last of Us.
Grand Theft Auto, Tefling. Oh, you got. And this last one.
And The Last of Us one.
Okay, you got 4 out of 10. Sorry.
Okay. All right.
Or 4 out of 9, and this is 10.
All
Which
right.
of these games was not the work of Edmund Macmillan? The Binding of Isaac, Fingered, Super Meat Boy, or Broforce?
Oh, jeez. Fingered.
It was Broforce. Okay.
Okay.
So 4 out of 10. That's what I have to beat next week.
All right. We'll do that on the next round of podcast. But yeah, you'll have to send me whatever you're using to do that. But that was fun. Yeah, I like that.
Dude, those questions were harder than because whenever me and my wife we go on really long road trips, like 12 hours or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like she gets bored or she's getting sleepy.
Yeah.
Or just like to help me stay awake. We do trivia a lot of times, and like I crush the gaming one normally. And
yeah.
I'm telling you right now, I may have been able to get 5.
Yeah.
Like that was not an easy one. So 4 out of 10 is not that bad, to be honest with you. But we'll have to do a next rapid fire trivia question next week.
Yeah. Yeah, we should do just kind of like an overall, and then we should pick like a genre or like a certain game and find some like Kingdom Hearts or like how well do you know this game or something, something like that in the future.
Do some
That'd be fun.
rapid fire questions every week. Man, that is holy crap! The remaster looks so much better. I just got the picture.
Oh yeah, dude, it's a lot. It's a lot. It's pretty decent. So yeah, you should pick it up and play it. It's fun. Yeah.
There goes my $20 tonight.
Yeah, exactly.
Yikes.
All right. Well, since I have young children, I think we're gonna call it here. And I guess do you want the gauntlet to choose the next game, or do you just want to like figure it out later?
Yeah, we'll just have to figure it out because I didn't even think about it. I was too worried about our rapid fire questions to even think about it because normally I have a minute. But we'll just we'll either let the gauntlet decide, or we will have to just decide off recording. So.
Yeah, let's do an N64 game next. That sounds
okay.
Fun to me.
I'm definitely down for that.
Okay, I'll figure some suggestions out and send them to you.
Awesome. Sounds good.
All right. Until next time, we will see you later.
Out.
Bye. All right. If you'd like to send us a message, you can email us at kitgpodcast@gmail.com or tweet us at kitgpodcast on Twitter.